So he thought, I'm going to try something else, and he went and got some money from the royalty of the day in France and got some missions funded, and he came and he said, I'm going to do something entirely different. I'm going to strike an alliance with the peoples who find themselves in Canada, and I'm going to find a way to work with the English who happen to be colonizing this country later to be known as Canada as well. And that was a powerful and I thought very interesting foundation for the kind of society that you and I are benefiting from to this very day. Tom, I hope that you and everybody on the executive and all your members are going to enjoy an absolutely wonderful summer. You know what my favorite thing to do in the summer is? I go on a canoe trip with my 3 sons. My wife and daughter won't come because I refuse to portage a dishwasher. We go for a trip, it's only 6 or 7 days, but you know, it somehow reconnects us with this gorgeous planet that sustains our life here. And suddenly you become sensitive to things that are kind of timeless, like the stars and the moon, and then somehow you begin to better notice the seasons and the tides, all those things that predate iPods and laptops and cell phones. And Blackberries. Thank God for the Blackberry, because that's worth about 5,700 Ontario jobs. So I hope that we have some, you know, my wish for you in part is for the summer that you find some time to reconnect with Mother Nature just a little bit. You don't have to go that far. This city is blessed with some glorious parks. So I hope you remove yourself from all of the hustle and bustle of your daily lives and participate in some of this wonderful, glorious nature to be found right inside our city. And I actually have a few remarks that I want to make here, Tom, that are a little bit more formal, but I thought that they were important. And ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my colleagues who are joining me here as well. You know, as we said, a leader is only as strong as his team, and I'm really lucky to have a very strong team, to have people like Kathleen Brennan, Margaret Best, who are working so hard on behalf of the people of Ontario. But mostly I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here tonight, and for all that you do day in and day out for all our diverse Ontario communities. There was a wonderful young writer by the name of Anne Frank, who at the age of either 13 or 14 wrote, "We all live with the objective of being happy. Our lives are all different, and yet we're all the same. Whether we've been here decades or just days, we know that although we're all different, deep down, we all share the same hopes and dreams. We all want good schools for our kids. We all want good health care for everybody in the family. We all want to live in a healthy environment. We all want strong and safe communities. We all want a strong economy that creates good jobs. And we all want to live in a world at peace. Here in Canada, we share a strong and unwavering commitment to our system of democracy. In the eyes of our law, we're all the same. We're all free to enjoy the same rights and freedoms. And in light of last weekend's events in Toronto, let's embrace our democratic right of free speech and our right to protest peacefully, and at the same time, let us together reject violence and extremism in our country, our province, and our city. We've always been, and notwithstanding last weekend, we will always be a beacon of freedom and civility seen right around the world and reflected in your communities. The work of the National Ethnic Press and Media Council of Canada is an important part of that. You reach out to Ontarians of all faiths and cultures. You keep communities connected to each other and their homelands. You give voice to those hopes and dreams. And in Ontario, there's never been a better time to work, build, and dream together. Tonight I'm pleased to say our economy is moving in the right direction. It's a challenging, competitive world on this side of the recession. I recently returned from a trade mission to the Middle East. I can tell you that wherever I go, when I have the opportunity to visit other places, and I've been to China several times, India a number of times, Pakistan, Japan, Austria, Switzerland, a number of other European countries, and many times to the US, I have yet to meet a single counterpart of mine who wouldn't gladly take on our challenges in exchange for theirs. Sometimes it's only human nature that we focus on work left undone and challenges yet to be overcome, but in the grand scheme of things, you and I enjoy an absolutely extraordinary quality of life together here in Ontario, the greatest province in the best country in the world. At the same time, when I talk to those people in other parts of the world, they're working just as hard as they can to grow stronger. And that's why we launched our Open Ontario plan. And yesterday, one of the biggest pieces clicked into place, and those were our tax changes. The HST is now saving businesses time and money. We're eliminating hidden taxes, and more jobs and productivity are on the way. It's strong medicine for our economy. I can tell you that Kathleen and Margaret and I and the rest of our caucus, we spent a lot of time talking about this. And pollsters ask an important question. They ask it every day. It's the same one. What do voters want? But our responsibility, those of us who are privileged to occupy positions of leadership, is to listen to the question that voters are asking. Not the question that pollsters are asking. The question that voters are asking. And that question is, what do we need to do to grow stronger? What do we need to do to make sure that we have the prosperity to support our schools, to pay for our health care, to build our roads, to support our vulnerable, to invest in a bright and promising future for all of us? The single most important thing that we can do to increase our competitiveness, to grow stronger, to ensure that there are jobs today, well, jobs not just for us today, but jobs for our children tomorrow, is to proceed with the tax reforms that we put in place. We're not doing it because it's easy. If it were easy, other governments would have done it. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And I've had the privilege to meet many Ontarians. I've yet to meet a single mother or a father or a grandmother or grandfather who hasn't told me, I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to build a strong economy for me and my children, to ensure that there are jobs for me today and my children and grandchildren tomorrow. If there's a single, powerful, noble, motivating ideal that has inspired every single generation of Ontarians and Canadians for that matter, it is this: we will do whatever it takes to build a bright future for our children and our grandchildren. It's been said of our generation that we're not prepared to make sacrifices. I don't buy that for an instant. If you stop and think about what your mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers did to you so that we could be here enjoying this extraordinary quality of life together, you will know that it wasn't all easy for them. And from time to time they did things that were difficult. What we're asking of Ontarians to do is something that is a little bit difficult. We recognize that. We don't ask those kinds of things of them lightly. But we know they want to do right by the generations yet to come. And I thank them and I thank you for your support in that regard. I have other remarks here about our plan for Open Ontario, but I'm not going to get into that because I've spoken at length already. What I will say is that it's my hope that you're going to get some great time this summer. Therefore, I guess you're going to have to work throughout the summer. But I hope that you'll find some time to kind of unwind a little bit and get some time with people who are the most important people in your lives, the people who love you just for who you are, not what you are, just for who you are. And for me, that'll be Terry and our 4 kids.